Welcome back, YouTube. I'm Navy Dad, and this is Rusted Bolt's Garage. Okay, this is part 2.2 of our radiator conversion, the larger radiator, of course, and our electric cooling fan conversion. So this is the wiring part and the installation and all that fun stuff. And this video also has the same link below to the docs on Google Docs on the complete how-to, the schematics, your shopping list, and all that fun sort of stuff. Fun sort of stuff. Say that 3 times fast. Anyway, let's get started because that dadgum fly just freaked me out.
Okay, sorry, the wind is blowing like hell here. One of the things I've got to do before I put the radiator in, yeah, I know I made a mess. I'm adding a transmission cooler, and this cooler actually is off a 95 Tahoe four-wheel drive. So it was an option from 88 to 99. So I'm going to have to modify this splash shield here. Pro tip: when you just got to cut out a piece of plastic, you don't have to break out the body saw or the Dremel, which is just going to melt it anyway. Get yourself some nice pair of gloves, a good sharp hacksaw blade, drill a pilot hole, and you can cut it out in about 40 seconds. Okay, it was 1 minute and 30. One item to note: if you are going to do a transmission cooler install on a vehicle that didn't have it previously, make sure you get all of the hardware. The holes are actually in the bulkhead, in the radiator core support, both up here and down here, but they are not tapped. You must get these screws that come with, these are the original mounting screws that came with it, and these are actually self-tappers. So when you go in there, you definitely want to do this. Tap the holes before you install it, and then install it. Okay, so the next small hurdle you're going to come across, and again, sorry for the wind, is the transmission lines. So if you're going to install your cooler, there it is. Here is the original input into radiator mounted cooler, is this top line right here. This is the one you're going to cut, not the bottom one. So the way it flows, this is input into the cooler, comes out here, goes into, or the radiator cooler, goes into the external cooler, and then back out as cool as possible to the transmission. So this is the upper mount. This line here is one you're going to want to cut, and you're going to have to bend it. I probably should have given myself a little bit more room on that, but that's okay, it'll still work. And of course, always use the proper tools. This is the line cutter you can get at Lowe's Depot. I don't know, I think it was like maybe 18 bucks or something like that. And cut the line. Give yourself plenty of slack. So you're going to have to bend this line, and then you're going to have to flare it a little bit. Okay, so what I ended up having to do is I had to cut that piece off. And that's the return line, and just go with a straight high pressure line because this was just dry rotted and not flexible, and it's not going to work. Alright. Look at that. Stickers! We love stickers. They're almost as good as t-shirts. Not quite as good as t-shirts, but we like that. Okay, so the fan is all installed and ready to go, and I'm going to install the radiator next, now that we got the transmission oil cooler all ready to go as well. But one thing I want to mention about this fan, it does not come with the connectors because this is a replacement fan, so it's assumed you have the connectors. So I did find them on Amazon, and I'll put the part numbers down in in the description. And okay, we're about to put the radiator back in. So we're going from that old antiquated POS to this monster state-of-the-art cooling system. I'll never have a cooling problem again. Okay, it's in. Haven't hooked up the radiator lines yet. I'm gonna wait until I finish the electrical on it in case I have to pull the radiator out. That never happens, right? So one thing to remember when you hook up your lines is always use thread locker or thread sealant or Teflon tape, something like that, to avoid leaks. You have to bend the lower line just a little bit to make it fit the larger radiator, but that's no problem. And there is the, oh crap, it's raining, damn it. There is the OE cooler that was never available on this truck. Okay, so as you can see, I've probably done just a little bit of wiring in the past. Just a little bit. So we're going to get ready to start on our custom built wiring harness. And also this right here, this is the LMC truck harness that will allow GMT400 trucks to utilize both headlights when you hit high beam. I mean, that's so irritating. You hit the high beam and low beams go off. Who the hell thought of that? Was a good idea. So anyway, I'm going to be doing this too, and I'll go over this when I do the LED light upgrade. Okay. These are your typical eBay, Amazon 30-40 amp relays. We're not going to talk about that right now. And of course, you can find tons of information on the internet and on YouTube on how to connect a relay. And I'm really not going to go too much deeper into that because it's already out there. But okay, so here's the beginnings of it. I'm not going to leave the camera on the whole time while I'm doing this, so you're really going to get bored even if I do the fast forward thing with all the funky music. So we'll finish this up and then I'll put together the diagram so you can easily recreate it yourself. Okay, well, you can see why I didn't want to let the camera just run and run and run. This took a couple of hours. I'll I'll move it out into the light where you can really see this mess. I started running out of colors, but it is it's a rainbow of colored wires. So of course it's important to write everything down. I got to finish doing that because it's all in my head right now. And but it's going to look confusing as hell when you see it here in a second. But don't worry. One, I'm a professional. Sort of. See, it says so on my beer bottle. But I'll have the complete schematics so you can fully understand what I've done here and why I did what I did. And some of you might ask, well, why don't you use like a painless wiring system or something like that? Well, those things are expensive. They don't always do exactly what you want unless they are specifically for a vehicle that you're replacing the wiring system for. So I really like making my own. Plus that this was not expensive. I mean, I got these relays. I got 12 of these relays for like $10 on Amazon. The most expensive thing here was probably that, and it was $8 at Advanced Auto Riley's. And this piece of metal was like $5 for, or this is actually aluminum. It's like $5 at Lowe's Depot. The wiring itself is probably pretty expensive. I mean, some of this stuff, you know, it's $8-9 a roll, but you can find that on Amazon a lot cheaper and that kind of stuff too. So anyway, that's why I don't do that, because this whole thing probably costs $30. So anyway, I'm going to pull it out in the light and you can see, get the full effect by it's kind of scary looking. Okay, so well, the light was really bad outside because it's so freaking bright. I'm not complaining. It's not raining and it's not cold. And I love the heat, so here you go. I know, it looks kind of scary, but it really is pretty simple when it comes down to it. So I'll show you here in a second where it's going to be installed on the car, and then we'll get it installed and we'll get it all hooked up. Truck GMT400 OBS Generation 115 C1500. Okay, as I said, in an effort to keep these from getting too long,
I've broken it up into yet another part. So the next version will be part 2.3, which will be the continuation of the wiring, including wiring up the fan switch and the final finished product. So hopefully there's no freaking fly in here. So anyway, go on to the next one, you can see the rest of it. Maybe Dad out. Fly. Jesus Christ, that's fucking huge. Jesus. Seriously. Okay. Radiator fan upgrade. Fuck. God damn freaking thing. Jesus. I'm trying to work here. Complete the fucking fly, man. Okay. This is part our upgrades for. No. Damn it. Now this fly's got me all fucked up. Okay. So we'll continue, and now is our installation, and this is still fucked. That fly just fucked me up, man. All right.